But we do hope that when you do master the art of running and walking and kicking, that you will join Chloe in the team and bang in hat-tricks against Rovers. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, of course it would be. So, before I let you go, where did you get the jersey? Was it a present from Mum and Dad? A present from Mum and Dad? Brilliant. Join me. Come on, Bohs. We are back in the back page for another episode of RTB, and today our first guest is none other than Gianni Clifford, long-time Bohs member, owner of Dublin Bricks, graphic designer extraordinaire, and heavily associated with the club.
Yeah.
Gianni.
That's some intro.
Sure is. Gianni, tell me, how did you fall in love with the Bohs?
Jesus, it's a long story now. I think my first game I think was home farm away. Me and my mates used to play on that pitch. I'm from Beaumont originally, and we used to sneak through to play on the all-weather pitch because they were a rare thing at the time.
That's right, yeah.
So we went through the fence, and when Bohs were in town, we came down, and it was 1998. So it's a few years ago now, and then from that game, I've just been going all the year. My older brother is a big Bohs fan as well. That I suppose kept me locked in on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you're a graphic designer as well, and it's you who've designed the magical logo for our show.
Yeah, I have indeed. It's always good to see what you can do to give back to the club. If I'm able to use my skills to help the club in any way, I'm always happy to do it. Whether it's making the logo for this, it's doing some work with the Dublin Originals and Mark O'Mara and stuff. So more than happy to do it.
Yeah, it's an ever-growing artistic community we have at Bohs, and may that continue.
Yeah.
But Gianni, give us a favourite memory as you've toured. You've gone away to Bohs in Europe and all that, haven't you?
I've been on many European trips. I don't know if they're
okay.
They're fitting.
Are you PC enough? I wonder, because there will be children watching. But tell us, say a favourite match of yours that without involving alcohol.
I think a favourite match has to be 6-4. I remember at the time losing my Nokia 5110 on the pitch when Bohs scored the 5th goal, and then finding it again when we scored our 6th goal back on the pitch. But there it is. That's always going to, from such a horrible cold day, that game is always going to stick with me as something special.
Favourite European away match?
Maybe Norway. I know we lost 4-0, but we were also in Trondheim for 4 days to do nothing because it was a charter plane. 4 days to just hang out in Norway.
Worst places to hang around.
Yeah. That was a really great trip. The game, not so good, but a really great trip.
Yeah, it's all about the trip, really, at the end of the day. But so come here, Gianni. You came to the attention of a lot of Bohs fans by your venture, which is, I suppose, happened during lockdown, which is Dublin Bricks. You featured on ABC, none other than ABC. That is the American TV network for those of uneducated people out there. Yeah. But because of this project you had of building Dublin pubs via the means of Lego.
Yeah.
Now, Lego, what's a grown man like you doing a Lego, Gianni, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a fairly good question. Okay. It started off, I've always had a keen hobby in Lego and, build sets, and then I wanted to see what I could build myself. And then I was trying to combine things that I'm really interested in, Dublin, Bohs, pubs, pints, with the Lego bricks. So it started off me building a pub, and I enjoyed the process. Think it came out well. I got a good feedback from it, and from there just built some more. And they just kind of went, and the page is doing really well. And now I'm kind of seeing what else I can do. I kind of sell sets and do different things like that.
Look at this. Here's one. Here's one we made earlier, but here is one you made earlier, and it's actually the Lego version of Dalymount Park.
Yeah, the Dalymount. It's I call this like a micro Dalymount, just based on the scale of it. You know what I mean? One thing I do is I only use Lego bricks, so I don't use any stickers or anything. It's all Lego. That keeps it pretty minimal. Maybe this is a set. Look, there goes the floodlight.
Look, the ancient floodlights are falling apart. Here we go. Live TV.
Maybe this is a set that we can kind of bring forward for the club shop and to sell. I know the other thing, this small Dublinium crest in Bohs colours is certainly something we'll see in a club shop soon. So it's good to be able to do things like this, little partnerships with the club, and hopefully.
And you'd have to do a new version of the new stadium as well.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be all dome, massive, built out of Duplo bricks, huge. Yeah.
So it's Dublin Bricks. That's the. Is it a website? Is there a website?
There's a website, dublinbricks.com, or Instagram at Dublin Bricks.
And it's going well for you. People are putting in orders.
People are doing well.
I've seen some of the pubs, and they are like there's an amazing attention to detail, even though, as you say, you're limited to Lego bricks. Like, what goes into that process? Like, do you have to order tiny parts? Do you know what I mean? And then you're obviously creating the instructions on how to make these things. That must be hugely time consuming.
Yeah. Well, for the sets that I build myself, you know what I mean, they're probably about 3,000 pieces and they're pretty big. But then I sell smaller ones and they're only about 200 pieces. But you just kind of plan it as you go along and trying to order the pieces as you go. Obviously, I have a big collection of Lego as well, of like the pieces, and it's just kind of figuring it out as I go, you know, and those builds. Getting as much details inside, because that's what brings the humour to these places, and you know, different things that people will see. You know, like let's say Dalymount here, making sure we got the tunnel, and making sure we have, you know, Jimmy's office down the end there, making sure I have all the
even the shopping centre here in the corner.
Making sure I have these details that people instantly recognise what the bills are, rather than, you know, slapping a sticker saying Dalymount on the side.
Making it look so generic. So like, what's like? I think a lot of people identify with Lego, like jigsaws, like art, because the lockdown has forced people to a lot of introspection, a lot of trying to distract themselves from reality, and Lego building stuff via Lego is a means of distraction. Do you hope, obviously you do hope that this will continue when lockdown eventually ends, and it will end, let's be honest. But you hope to continue on Dublin Bricks and just keep expanding the project.
Definitely. I have a lot of different things in the works, like doing some other stuff with street artists and different collaborations like this. I'll definitely continue it. Whether people get bored of it, that's a totally different thing. But I'll definitely continue it. I enjoy doing it. I think it's a good, you know, it overlaps a bit with my day job as a designer, but it's also a few degrees removed, so it gives me a bit of space from that. You know what I mean? And
so, would people go on and ask you? Would they commission you to do stuff?
Yeah. I get a lot of requests to do that. They're hugely time consuming, so I don't do them very often, but I'm actually working on one right now for a big company. So that's an interesting project I'm working on as well as part of it,
Right, so you'll only consider it if the moolah's there, Gianni. Come on, your style. I like your style.
Now you're talking.
So, Gianni, listen, thanks very much for joining us on the show. It's a fascinating project. I love this stuff. I saw your Instagram page. Some of the stuff you put out there is amazing. So check it out, folks, on dublinbricks.ie. And Gianni, thanks for joining us.
Nice one. Thanks very much.
Really good to sign off with a win against Waterford, 3-0, clean sheet. Good all-round team performance with some good goals. I think the first goal is a really well worked team goal with some good passages of play. Ross Tierney with a second goal, his fourth of the season, and fantastic for Rossi to be called up into the under-21 squad. Albeit as a result of Dawson Devoy's injury that he picked up in the game against Waterford. So we hope that Dawson's injury is not too serious, that it's a fatigue issue as opposed to anything that's too serious. We've had a high volume of games recently, so Dawson has been exposed to a lot of minutes on the pitch, and hopefully with a little bit of rest he'll be ready to come back ahead of the Derry City game. So I think that's really where we're at. It's good to sign off with a win, to follow up a good win against Dundalk. I suppose our recent form has picked up. We've won 4 out of the last 5 games, which is pleasing, and that's what we'll try and do as we come back. We'll try and hit the reset button now over this little short break and get the boys ready to go again against Derry on the 11th of June. So we're developing as a squad. We're continuing to improve as a squad. I think we've got strength in depth, as witnessed by some of the players that have come into the team just recently and the performances that they put in. So we'd like to think with 22 league games left to go, with European competition still to come, with the FAI Cup still to come, that this group can continue to try and get better. But like I said, we're developing, we're continually looking to improve. And we've got a squad that we can rely upon, hopefully, as we enter into a crucial phase of the season.
Hello, Sean Bourne here, Bohemians Women's Senior Manager, just with an update on the latest team news. Previous 2 games we played Shelbourne, which on the night we lost 1-0. But it was a really good game for the girls. I thought on the evening they played very, very well. And coming from the previous game the week before against Wexford, the confidence was low. And I thought on the night the girls played really, really well. And it was a lot of positives and a little boost going forward. Disappointed with not getting something out of the game, but happy with the performance. And it built the confidence going into the next game, which we played against at Lone Town. We won the game 3-2. On the night, I thought we played really well in the second half. I thought the first half performance was poor enough, but we did enough in the second half to get the result. Now going into this week, we're playing Treaty United. Treaty have played 2 games in the last few weeks. They've had a win and a loss. So they beat Cork City, and they lost to DLR Waves. So it's going to be a tricky fixture for us. They're a good side, and on their day are well capable of beating any team in the league. So we'll be going into this game cautious but confident, and as usual we give 100%. And hopefully we'll get the results we're looking for. Okay, thanks for listening in, and talk soon.
We're back in RTB, and I'm delighted to welcome Bohs women's player, Chloe Darby. Chloe, you're very welcome.
Hi, thank you. It's good to be here.
It's great. I tell you what, I'm slowly, slower than I should, but slowly getting into the women's football now. Delighted Bohs finally have a women's team represented at national level, and nice that we're the only Premier Division club with a team, a men and women's team in both Premier Leagues. That's deadly, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's great. So fair play to Cork for getting relegated in the men's league to make that happen. But Chloe, one thing mentioning Cork, actually, that's what caught my attention, because I'm following the results now, and I know it was a difficult season last year, right?
Yeah.
But you're only establishing yourselves.
Of course.
But you got the result against Cork, who are viewed as one of the better teams in the women's league. And we was happy with the result.
Obviously when we got into the league last year we were a bit behind because we were only in a week before the league, so we weren't expecting big results. But this year I think we are challenging, and we're going in when we're going to play against Cork. We want a result. We want to win.
Yeah.
But we'll take the point.
And you are from Coolock, am I right?
Yeah.
So you're playing virtually at home on the Oscar Traynor Road.
Yeah, just down the road from me.
so you can leave your gaff really late and
Yeah.
get there just in
I
time.
know most of the girls leave about an hour before to get there, and I'm just leaving at 10 to whatever.
Brilliant. And like about the team itself, like what is the background of the team? Are they from all over Dublin, Ireland?
A lot of the girls, they're really committed, like they travel really far. I know
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to just have it down the road. But yeah, I think it shows their commitment. They do travel really far. There's girls coming from all over the team. We've seniors like Sophie Waters and stuff played in the league when she was 16. I think she made her debut with Shell. So a lot of experience in there, yeah. A lot of young players as well.
And you came through the Bohs under 17s, and but what's it like now to be playing senior football and at a national level?
Yeah, it's really different. Like obviously when I was playing with the 17s, I was captain, but there's not as much exposure, I suppose. Like as soon as you come into the National League as well, it's a different standard. Like you haven't got as much time. But I remember the first match that I played, and I just thought, like, you got the ball and there's about 3 or 4 players on top of you. Like I wouldn't be used to that because I'd only played, as I said, like under 17.
Right. So it took a bit of time to adapt to that, did it? And was it just like did it take you long, or was it just a couple of games and you went, all right, now I have it?
I was playing under Sean Byrne since like I did ETP with him, and then obviously with the under 17s, he always said to me like, Chloe, 1-2 touch football. So I was kind of used to it, I suppose. And then we were training obviously pre-season. We had a very long pre-season because of coronavirus, so we did get a bit of time to get into it. Yeah.
Right. And you scored our first ever senior goal for the Bohs women's team. Who was that against? What was that like?
It was against Wexford. It was a short corner. It was actually
against Wexford.
Yeah, Wexford Youth. Yeah.
Wow.
It was actually special because my dad actually is the one that always says, do the short corner, you score from it. And himself and Ivan, who used to be my manager, so they always say, do the short corner, we will score from it, so scored. So
the short corner, so did you receive the short corner?
I took the corner to the centre forward, touched the corner flag, and she comes running out. Giving away the tactics here now.
Oh,
she comes running out and plays back to me, and I think one of the Wexford Youth defenders came out, and I kind of tackled her, and I think went through her legs, and I just had a little shot, yeah.
Nice one. And I seen your goal against Galway there as well from a corner. You're a bit of a specialist in the old corners, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm good at the set pieces.
Yeah, you whipped them in. Fair play to you. So come here, like you're playing now, as you realise, you're playing senior football now. So it's at a national level now. And you say, as you say now, there are more eyes on the women's game now, and it's great, I suppose, now with the women's game being streamed like the men's game. How you find that? Do you get to record? Do you watch them back afterwards?
All my friends do me text me.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
When's your match? What time's it at? It's really good. Like Bohs are probably probably the biggest following on social media of all the football teams.
Yeah.
So, and they do a lot for the women's team, and it's a lot of exposure for us there. So it's good.
And that's important, I suppose, isn't it? That we're seen as a club that gives equal exposure to the men, the women, and our amputee football team as well. That everyone gets the same level of exposure.
Obviously, Bohs are late to the women's game, but I think they are making up for it now. Especially with there's no expenses. Like we haven't had to pay a cent. We put gear, buses, food, everything. So.
And rightfully so, Chloe.
Yeah, it's good to see the other teams following suit as well now.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And like as a footballer, as a women's footballer in Ireland, do you feel a sense of the game growing in the country as a sport? Do you think, like say when lockdown is finished, do you think more and more people will come and support the Bohs women's team?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like it's the best fans. So obviously, of course, they're going to come and support us.
Well, I'm a Bohs fan, and I think if Bohs are playing Tiddlywinks, I'll be down supporting them, kind of thing. Like So, and I've been to the Oscar Traynor many times over the years, and it's only down the road from me.
It's a great pitch.
Yeah, it is. I'll definitely be down. But there's also talk of the women's team getting a few matches. Dalymount itself.
Yeah, we had one there last year against the Lalor. We drew. But yeah, I think a few games of Dalymount would be great if we could get fans back. Sure, most of our families and friends haven't got to come and see us play in the Bohs shirt yet, because obviously when we got into the league it was the start of the pandemic, so that would probably be special as well. And the only time they get to see is on a laptop is on
or
telly,
something.
Yeah.
So, but your family is heavily involved with Bohs.
Yeah, I suppose I'm lucky that way. Like my mum and dad do get to be there to see me.
Really, yeah.
Actually, my mum missed the penalty, even though she was at the match. She said to me, "Oh, did you score?" Like after the match, I think someone got on record for her to see.
Imagine your ma. Imagine playing a match at national level against one of the big teams. Your man not even being there to see it. But so
because she does so much, though, she's looking after everything else.
Yeah, tell us what is she doing? What is the roles that your man and dad have in the club and all that?
I suppose Frank is a bit in behind the scenes. Like he do stuff that will go unnoticed, but obviously at home it doesn't go unnoticed because we don't ever hear the end of it. Like he's obviously when Bohs were getting into the league, he was pushing to get us in. He was never off the phone. And then my mum would just be sorting out the gear. All the orders always come to the house.
Right.
Just taking the temperatures up at training. She always has just little bits and things she does.
So, like when you say your mum and dad are heavily involved, would they be? And like, they're obviously your biggest fans.
Yeah.
But would they be, to an extent, be your biggest critics as well? If you weren't doing something right, would they be the first ones to
Definitely
tell you?
my dad, yeah. No, you haven't had a good game until your dad tells you have.
So it doesn't matter if you scored a hat-trick. It's only when your dad says you've had a
He
good
would
game.
say,
you know.
remember that one time though.
Remember when the short corner routine didn't work out? That's deadly. Second season for the Bohs senior women's team in the League of Ireland. What are your hopes for the season ahead?
I suppose last year it was just like going out against these teams. We weren't expecting results. We were keeping the score down, I suppose, because we came into the league so late. We needed to show that we weren't going to go out every week and get hammered. But this year, I think it's a few results. Hopefully, we can finish in the top half of the season, because if you don't have positive hopes, then you're not going to win, obviously.
Aim high, yeah. Exactly.
I think it's more a 3-year plan as well. Then with Sean and Pat are always saying that, like, obviously we're not going to win the league this year, but in years to come, hopefully we'll be challenging Shelburne and Peamount and Wexford.
So it's all about growth and getting better and improving all
and you
the
can
time.
see us improving already. Like.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to it. So tell me, you're an international footballer as well, not just playing for Bohs. The international. Tell me about your international career.
Yeah, I made my debut for the under-19 Ireland team against Austria last year.
Wow.
Special moment, obviously.
What is that like, Chloe? Tell me exactly. I mean, I used to play football, and it would have been a dream to represent my country. What was it like?
Sure, it's everyone's dream, isn't it, to play for Ireland? Like, obviously, hopefully I can go a bit further, but like, it was a very proud moment, like putting on the Ireland jersey and singing the anthem and having your friends and family there as well. I suppose it's like you're almost giving back to them. Sure, they're so supportive of you. Like, it's great to let them come and see you play, and pictures after the game and stuff.
Amazing. And like going forward now, are you still eligible for the 19s, or?
It was cancelled this year, unfortunately. The Euros were.
So that means it's too late now. You're too old now.
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Sorry about that, Chloe. Your career's over now.
Senior,
hard luck for
hopefully.
being 20. So senior level is the next one. Yeah.
It's the next step.
But Chloe, listen, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. And like I say to all Bohs players, come on, Bohs. And we see you down the Oscar Trainer. And
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Come on, Bohs.